Several years ago, I made a video on one of these motion detector solar lights. It's very low cost. I think it was like 10 or 12 bucks. And I bought one again recently. The first ones went bad. However, there's some significant improvements in this, mostly in the solar panel, that I think is going to cause them to last a lot longer. I like these because it has one mode that just basically is the light comes on when it detects motion and it goes off when it doesn't detect motion. Stays on for like 20 to 40 seconds, something like that. Yeah, and even the high-end ones, like my neighbors bought a Philips, and it cost them, I don't know, $80, $90, something in that range. And it doesn't even have that mode. It's either always on dim, and then it comes on bright when somebody goes by, or some combination, some variation on that theme. So let's take a look at this. We got the light. Here's the PIR sensor. The instruction says this has a remote control. It doesn't. I'm glad it doesn't. It just has a button right here. You push to change the modes, and there are, let me refer to the instructions, 5 different settings. Man walking, lights out, 20 seconds. People walking, slightly bright, 20 seconds. Not bright during the day and bright at night, so that's always on. Ordinary lamp, always on 100% bright. Ordinary lamps, always on 30% bright. So, yeah. What else? Okay, so that's this, then the solar panel, and let's just zoom in on one of these and take a close look at it, and then we'll look at the other one. One of the things they don't mention is off mode, and it's right now in off mode. If I punch this again, this is relatively bright. That is the 30%. So I think the first one is considered 100% always on. And no, this one looks like this was the dim. And now this is the bright detect. This is dim. And then the off again. So there's not a lot. I've already taken this apart, and one of the reasons I took it apart was I wanted to see if I could upgrade the battery in it, and it has a Li-on battery in it, and it fits in this bump right here, and there's no real extra space in there to add another battery or whatever. So anyway, I guess I'll live with the one that's in there. It lasts for like 50 or 60 lights on full brightness, so okay, not terrible. Otherwise, the circuitry in there doesn't have a lot to help us out. And right here, it has a waterproof socket, which I don't know why, because that's where the solar plugs in. And I don't know if they expect you to charge this thing up and kind of just leave it out there with this without the solar plugged in, unplug it and set it out there and then bring it into the house or something and charge it. I don't know what they're thinking. Here is the mount. It's got a movable mount to it like that. Okay, so now let's look at the solar panel. Here's where I think I can make some improvements, or at least I'm going to give it a good try. This is the solar panel, and one of the big improvements they made was they sealed this to the frame. Before, water could leak in between the frame and the solar panel, and yeah, so these went bad really fast. However, there is a big lip here. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can sort of see that right there. Yeah, there's a big lip there which will gather up water and dust, and so my guess is the charging power will go down over time. Otherwise, there's not much to it. The back is plain, and I have taken the liberty of removing the screws already. So there's nothing on that side. And on this side, we just have the 2 wires, and they're soldered onto the solar panel, and there's no other thing going on. So one of the things I'm going to do is I think I'm going to maybe try to put some shrink wrap over that joint so that it doesn't corrode, because it will get wet inside here. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drill some very small holes in the corners here so that if water or when water gets in, it will have a way out, even if it's as steam or whatever. And small enough holes that the ants will not get in. Okay, so let's go do that. Okay, here we are back again, and what I have done is, instead of shrink wrap, I could not get the shrink wrap to cover everything, especially where the solar panel lead penetrated the plastic, And just, you know, sure as anything, it would rust off right there. Just even with humidity, even if you could keep the water out, that would do it. So I went with the clear silicone RTV stuff. And before I seal this up, I'm going to put some silicone here where the wire penetrates the case, because boy, that, you know, you could drive a bus through there. I want to keep bugs and dirt and as much water as possible out. And in the top section, as promised, I drilled holes at the lowest points, 3 holes here, and then you can't see this one here, but through this, there's a well right here where this mount is, and there's the hole that comes out there. So any water who gets in here will have a way out as liquid water, and if nothing else, it will exit as steam type water. What else would you want to know? This is not going to be waterproof, and there's no really way of making it waterproof. There's no gasket around here or anything. It just snaps together. So this is going to have to be as watertight as possible, these electrical connections, and that's why I went with the RTV. The shrink wrap was just not going to do it, and it was not going to reach where the leads penetrated the case, as I said. Okay, what else? Oh, I treated all of the holes with an anti-corrosive compound because, you know, in a year or two, I may want to open this up and either fix it or discover what is going on inside. You know, whether my repair has done a job or not. And the same is true. I also did the screws on the light. So yeah, those have all been treated with an anti-corrosive compound, so I can open that up and replace the battery in the future as needed. Now, how am I going to mount this? Well, right now I'm thinking about just magnets, because the solar panel obviously is going to be out in the wind, rain, snow, hail, whatever. But the light part, that's going to be underneath either a car park. One of them is going to be under a car park, and the other is just going to be under a ledge. So it'll be relatively out of the rain. Again, it's just, it doesn't have any ceiling around the edges, but as long as it's, I think, you know, sheltered from above, it's going to be okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go out and mount this thing, and I will come back like in a year or so. If it fails before then, I'll be back before. But we'll leave it out there and we'll see how it does. And a year or so from now, we will report on how well it's doing. And, you know, again, if it's failed, we'll report on earlier. Okay? Well, this is just one of these things where I like to take something as cheap and make it last basically as long as I possibly can, because especially these days, you know, things are getting tight, and I'm sure they're going to get tighter. So I don't want to do things. I have different levels of fixes, and I'll call this a 20-year fix. Sometimes it's a 1-year fix. Those aren't good. Those are kind of patchy, but yeah, 1-year fix, 5-year fix, 20-year fix. And I'm going to try to make this a 20-year fix, but like I said, we're going to see. We'll report back in a year and see how it's going. Well, I hope you found that useful and interesting in your DIY home projects.